want to stand up before we sit down?
Yeah, let's just play this thing out.
I think you're coming towards me. Hi, good
Hello,
morning.
good morning.
Very nice to meet you. I'm
Nice
your
to meet
nutrition
you.
counselor, Daniella Gutierrez, but you can call me Daniela.
Okay.
How would you like to be addressed today?
I'd just like to go by Kim.
Okay, Kim, great. Have a seat.
Sure.
Is this okay for you?
Yeah, this looks great.
Okay, great. So today I'm going to ask you a series of questions in regards to your eating patterns. Have you ever met with a nutrition counselor before?
No, I haven't.
No. Okay, so since I'm a peer nutrition educator, I can only provide you nutrition education on 3 topics: eating on a budget, reading a nutrition label, and eating a balanced diet.
Okay.
Do any of these topics sound of interest to you?
I could use some information on eating on a budget.
Eating on a budget. Oh, great! I love talking about eating on a budget. Before, just a little housekeeping. My peer here is gonna observe us just doing what I'm doing, take notes. But however, Dr. George will be the only one who will review this information.
Okay.
And I first need your verbal consent. And also, if you have any questions or if you feel uncomfortable, don't hesitate. Just stop me and let me know.
Sure.
So let me give you the agreement. Here is the student nutrition interview agreement. And if you can just sign and just let me know.
Do we actually have to sign this since I'm
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to start by asking you just some questions about you, just your challenges or support that are, in your routine, just to get a better idea of your challenges, and also just relating to your eating patterns. So first question, what grade are you at SF State?
I'm a senior.
Senior. And do you live on campus or off campus?
Off campus.
Off campus. How long is your commute?
It's 2 hours.
So 2 hours, wow, okay. Perfect. Okay, so now the questions are gonna be a little bit more food focused. How often do you buy meals or snacks, like in general, like in restaurants or just fast food?
Pretty often.
Often? Okay. And how often do you buy meals on a typical weekend, like Saturday or Sunday?
Often.
Often?
Yeah.
Okay. And last question, how often do you buy snacks out?
No.
Not very much, okay. So rarely?
Rarely.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take a minute just to total your responses. So it's pretty much you just buy snacks often, but you do buy food typically often. Okay. So I'm going. Now we're gonna just do like a little diet recall of yesterday's morning breakfast, just to kind of get an idea of get precise details of your eating patterns. Could you remember exactly what you had yesterday morning?
Yesterday I had like a big glass of water
Okay.
when I woke up.
And what time was that?
That was around like 9.
9 a.m. Okay. So 1 glass of water. What else did you have?
And then I had, I made a shake with banana and some almond milk, some protein powder, and some spinach.
And protein powder. Okay. And that was at the same time, like every
That
long
was,
time?
no, that was closer to like 12.
12 p.m. Okay. Is that anything else?
Not in the morning.
Not in the morning. Okay, and so do you remember how much of a glass did you have? Like a cup or like a bigger?
It was a big cup. It's like this big. I would say there's like 4 cups in there.
4 cups?
Yeah.
I think we have a cup there,
Yeah.
which is 8 ounces.
This.
The red one.
This.
Yeah. So that's 8 ounces there. Would you say it's like 3 of those, 4 of those?
Probably like 4.
4 of those.
Mhm.
Okay, so 4. And your shake, was it around the same amount or less?
It was like 2 of these.
2 of these,
Mhm.
okay. Do you remember the type of brand for your banana? Like the brand type?
It was just one from Safeway. I think they have like. No, I have no.
No, just Safeway brand?
Yeah.
Okay. And was it like a medium size or
It was a pretty big banana.
Pretty-
It was like, if this is a ruler, I would say it was like 8 inches long.
8 inches long.
It was big,
Okay.
yeah.
And you use almond milk. Do you remember
Yeah.
the brand?
It was Silk.
Silk.
It's Silk, vanilla, unsweetened almond milk.
Okay. And then for spinach, do you remember, is it like organic or regular? Where was it
It's
from?
the Safeway brand organic,
Okay,
and I use like a giant handful. So
just a
it was
handful?
probably like this much spinach. And
Okay.
a big handful.
A big handful.
So
Okay.
this, yeah.
And then for the protein powder, was it like a certain brand that you
Yeah, I
used?
use Orgain
Or
protein
Gain?
powder, and I use 2 scoops, which is 1 serving.
Okay. Okay, and did we miss anything? So I'm gonna go over and then just let me know if you missed anything or something comes to mind.
Sure.
So at 9 in the morning, you had 1 glass of water, which was about estimating 4 cups of water. And then at 12 p.m., you had a shake with banana. You added almond milk, the Silk, the vanilla unsweetened, which was about, well, everything all together was about 2 cups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you added a big handful of organic from Safeway spinach. And then lastly, you had a protein powder Orgain, 2 scoops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is 1 serving.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bananas from Safeway, it was like around 8 inches large. Did I miss anything?
No.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your dietary intake. The nutrition education topic you were interested in was talking of eating on a budget. Is this
Mhm.
still something you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, perfect. So my mentor has reviewed this information with the related of your topic. And so for right now, what I'd like for us to do is to just think about the topic you selected and the information you just shared. I would like for us to work for creating a SMART goal. So a SMART goal stands for a specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goal. And most successful lifestyle changes occur when you make the goal SMART and you understand the level of awareness and readiness to meet that goal. So to get a better idea of how ready you are to make this change, I want to use this ruler here. And 1 stands for not ready, and then 10 means that you're super ready.
Okay.
So now if you wanted to meet this goal, how ready would you say you are?
I would say that I'm about a 4.
A 4, okay. And then how confident do you feel you would make this goal?
My confidence
Like how confident do you feel?
would be at about a 7.
A 7,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. So, level 7 on this ruler indicates that you're at a level of like readiness and you're, but you're also a little uncertain. So, this is a very common stage for change. Could I take a moment and provide you with a little bit of information or education about the topic you selected?
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
Excuse me.
So do you usually, when you go out, do you have snacks? Do you like have a lunch ready the next day, or do you like meal prep? What do you usually do?
Well, I spend a lot of time like outside of my house.
Okay.
So when I'm at school, I hardly ever bring food with me because I'm just don't have the time to pack it, so I always end up buying food here at school. And then I also work in a restaurant,
Okay.
so when I'm at work, I just buy the food they have there too. So I don't really cook so much as I should. I eat my breakfast at home normally
Mhm.
because I wake up there.
Right.
But once I get out of the house, it's just like who knows what I eat, and then I spend the money on like buying all this random food when I probably could save money by making a lunch or bringing it with me.
Right. Okay. And could you think of any things like, what are some things that prevent you from making a lunch at home?
I think I'm just lazy.
It's just lazy.
I'm lazy and I never know what to cook, and I never
Okay.
know what's gonna be good later on in the day, if I'm gonna have a microwave or whatever.
Okay. And you said you live off campus. Do you live with your parents?
No, I live with my boyfriend.
Okay, so it's pretty much you're very independent and
Mhm.
it's on you. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And so, since you want to talk on a budget, eating on a budget, where exactly would you want to focus more on, like make meal prepping at home, or like more so like not going out as much and spending your money, like where?
I think meal prepping, because a lot of times for lunch, I'm usually out, and so I will, if I have food then I can eat it, but if I don't have food I'll buy it. But then later at night when I go home, I can have food at home to eat, as
Right.
opposed to going out again and looking for food.
Okay. And how many days a week would you say that's like your routine?
Like 5 days a week.
5 days a week.
Yeah.
Okay. So since we're creating a SMART goal, it has to be very specific and measurable. How would you say, how would you want to create like a specific goal? Like, for example, you want to at least once out of those 5 days you usually eat out and you don't meal prep. Do you want to be very specific? Do you want, like, for example, just do one day out of the week where you can make time, like at least one day,
Mhm.
just to see, to get the idea? How do you think you would want to make this goal?
I think that taking one day to make food for the week, or if I take one day to think of food to make and then I take one day to go out and make that food,
Mm-hmm.
I think I could do something like that to save myself some money.
So you want one day to think of what you're gonna cook,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next day you want to make some time to make exactly what you planned to
Exactly.
do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna write your SMART goal right here, just so we can write it down together.
Sure.
So I'll put Kim's SMART goal. And this is where we're gonna write your goal. So you said you want to take one day to think about what you're gonna cook. And then the next day, how much time would you want to set aside just to do a quick meal prep?
I think it would
What would work for you?
I think it would take about maybe about 2 hours.
2 hours?
Because I have to cook and then I have to pack it all up, so I would say 2 hours.
2
to
hours
do the whole
max?
thing. Mhm.
Okay. So this would be one day
Mhm.
out of the 5
Mhm.
days that you usually go out and buy yourself your food. And,
Mhm.
okay. So we wrote down, so, okay. Thank you for sharing all
Yeah.
of this. So Can you read aloud just what we just created as your SMART goal?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take one day to think about what I wanna cook, and then the next day, I'm gonna use 2 hours out of my day to cook and meal prep. And that's 1 out of my 5 days that I eat out.
Perfect, okay. So I'm glad we created a SMART goal for you, Kim. I'm gonna use this ruler again, and I just want you to like tell me, again, how confident do you feel that you could at least one day a week make meal prepping for you?
I'm gonna say I'm about a 5.
A 5. So you're not sure.
Not, yeah.
Like you feel, oh, maybe I could, maybe I can't. Okay. Okay. So what is stopping you from getting to a 10 or closer to a 10? Like what, like is it because maybe there's somebody who can't support you or too much homework? Like I don't know, you tell me, what are some like that disadvantages or things that are stopping you from?
I think that it just, like cooking seems like just a daunting task.
Okay.
And it just sounds like, thinking about it just makes me think like, it's gonna take me forever to do this, and I have to buy the vegetables, and I have to cut them, and I have to make room in my refrigerator, or like put them in there and let them sit in there, and like thinking about having to eat the same thing all week is not really so appealing. And yeah, just kind of like, that's something in my head, that's something I would love to be able to do, but the other side of me is like, I don't even know if I would want to do that, because of, I don't want to eat the same thing, and like I said, I don't want to eat the same thing, and I don't want to cook.
Right.
Like I don't like cooking, and I don't like cleaning
Right.
pots and pans and all that.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. So do you feel okay with your goal that we set? Like, do you want to add something or?
No,
No?
I think that it's just something I'll have to work at.
Little by little, so step at a time. Okay, thank you for participating. It has been a pleasure talking to you and learning about your goals and interests from our SMART goal planning. You indicated that you do want to start one day to think about what you want to cook, at least one day out of the 5 days that you think that you usually buy food out. I have a handout here for you.
Perfect, thank you.
And it just talks so briefly about, budget planning and shopping, and also a little bit of like, cooking and eating. Okay, I don't think I don't miss anything. Okay, so do you have any questions for me or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so one last thing, how will you know you have met this goal?
I'll know when I've met this goal when I can make it a part of my routine, and I can change my my mindset from it feeling like such a chore to something that I maybe even enjoy doing at some point, and when it becomes a part of my routine.
Right, okay, perfect. And I mean, there is some helpful tips on eating on a budget that I do have as like, planning is important to keeping like your recipes and ingredients at your home, because that helps a lot when you go shopping and you have all these ingredients and you don't have to think about, oh, I need to go get this ingredient or that. Like having that at home and as a one-time thing when you go grocery shopping and having some ingredients. Also, I forgot to ask you, do you have like easy access to buying groceries? Yeah, okay. And so like, I mean, there's some recipes that you could look up with groceries you already have at home. That way you don't have to go to the grocery and buy new ones or new ingredients that you might need. And like you mentioned earlier, you don't want to eat the same thing every day, right? So, I mean, there is a lot of recipes you can look online, and trust me, there's a lot of variety. And easy ones too,
Mhm.
like something that can take like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And also like, I don't know how much you spend during like those 5 days, but I mean, even creating a SMART goal with 1 day out of the week will save you, I'm pretty sure. Like if you do it every single week, at least
Mhm.
once a week, that will, I mean, eventually accumulate and you'll be saving some money off that. Okay, so, you know, and it's also important to just like make a little bit of time, even when you're watching Netflix or something, like putting the TV on and start doing the prepping, or when you're
Yeah.
cooking it, like, you know, you can multitask. That's something a lot of people do. But thank you so much, Kim, for participating and sharing your everything. I am very pleased to meet you, and I'm impressed with your idea. I think it sounds great. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. If you have any questions, you can contact me later on, and just don't hesitate to ask me.
Of course.
Okay, so thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for all your help.
Of course. Don't forget your worksheet.
Thanks.